Now, anyone who has watched this channel for any length of time knows I love Warhammer. I have a deep love of fantasy, spawned by Gotrek and Felix, and my love of 40k was given to me by such books as The Infinite and the Divine, as well as Caiaphas Cain and Ravener. I am also an RPG enjoyer of the highest variety, and so when I saw Rogue Trader go on sale over the holidays, I was on that like a tick on a dog. Having now completed the game in its entirety, I can honestly give a hearty recommendation. So without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, Rogue Trader. The game begins with character creation, and wonder of wonders. Look at that, attribute and origins. The choices you make here will affect you throughout the entire playthrough, especially if you're a sadistic masochist and choose to be a psyker, which for the uninitiated is 40k's version of a wizard, as psyker powers weaken the veil between real space and the same dimension where people find Amy Schumer specials funny, aka the warp, which for the purposes of brevity I will resist the urge to Loresburg about. After this you get an intro to the game, whirled through the Rogue Trader's Master of Whispers and as well as a few other characters. You are a distant relative of the Rogue Trader who is looking for an heir to her glorious dynasty of space privateers, and thus, being a blood relative, you are a candidate for the position of Rogue Trader. But for a moment, allow me to lay out the basics of what a Rogue Trader is. Calling them space privateers is probably the most accurate descriptor, as they are given a warrant of trade, either by the High Lords of Terra, or in the case of the truly ancient houses, the God Emperor himself. This warrant of trade is very similar to the real-world equivalent being a letter of marque, but its auspices are far broader than any letter of marque granted by any real-world nation, as the Rogue Trader is basically given a blank check to do as they please, and they often do. They can requisition Imperial Navy fleets, entire armies of the Astra Militarum. They can even request the aid of the Emperor's Angels of Death. They often own their own protectorates of half a dozen worlds, and the resources said worlds can provide. And you, dear viewer, should you choose to buy this game, are the heir to one such dynasty. Your power is great, for so is that of the enemies of mankind. The Rogue Trader must stand in the breach against the ever-present threats of chaos, xenos, and mutants. The story of Rogue Trader is one of these times, for in the grim darkness of the far future, there is only war. Rogue Trader mechanically is a top-down, turn-based tactical RPG, with both fleet planted in its tabletop origins, and yes, that is a good thing. You're given a broad arsenal of weapons that are both unique and fun to use, and on the note of combat, normal combat is punishing. Does not even begin to describe the combat in this game, but while it is punishing, it is also a ton of fun. The space combat is not perfect, but once again, it's a lot of fun. This game has all of the customization you could want, and quite a bit you didn't know you wanted, but you absolutely did need. It understands what it means to be an RPG. That is, it understands that it needs to be player-centric. It understands that a good RPG isn't about the DM, it isn't about the developer, in the case of a CRPG, it's about the player, and my god, in this day and age, I appreciate that. This game is not ashamed to be what it is, which is a Warhammer 40k RPG. The characters are multifaceted, well-written, and based in the world of 40k. If you're looking for Critical Role, Big Bang Theory bullshit, look elsewhere. This game does an excellent job of dropping you in the world and saying good luck, have fun, and quick save constantly. Your choices will matter. This is not a modern RPG where the developer is herding you down a set path where you are bubble-wrapped from all sharp objects and failure. You can and probably will fail at a lot of things, because you put too many points into combat stats and not enough into social. In other words, the story of my life. The few nitpicks I have are just that. Co-op has some desynchronization issues that are annoying, but this issue is mostly ameliorated by the game saving at the moment of DC and then loading you in at that moment. So even if you desynchronize, you won't lose your progress. Other than that, there are some minor glitches largely revolving around characters winding up outside the map. but this could usually be fixed with a reload of a save. Other than that, I cannot think of too many issues. I may start rambling if I continue too much longer, so in closing, for 40k fans, this is a definite recommendation. For those of you who are not, this is a recommendation with the caveat that you pick it up on sale. But that, ladies and gentlemen, is my heretical recommendation of Rogue Trader. I thank you all for watching. To this point, please leave a like on the video if you enjoyed it, leave a comment on the video, and until next time, this has been Pete, the Heretical Nerd, signing off.